With this true blue salute, I'm Karla Nichols. Joining me today are two FFA members of the Sandhills FFA chapter. Joining me is Ross Martindale, the Sentinel of the chapter, as well as the president of the FFA chapter, Kora Winkelbaur. How are you doing today, Kora?
Good.
Perfect. Did I say your first name right, Kora?
Yes.
All right, I was getting a little nervous about that. In talking about FFA, there were CDEs the first day. There's 2 days, two different rounds, I guess, of CDEs. And Ross, you participated in your contest already for CDEs. Share a little bit more about what you competed in.
Um, Fifth science. So basically, we took like a test, like individual test, and then after that, we as our team, we went around and identified different types of like instruments you'd use in the veterinary field.
And in reflecting a little bit back before the event, what kind of sparked your interest in wanting to do vet science and getting to know more about the vet field?
Well, I'm going to go to college for animal science, so that kind of ties into that vet science area. And I don't know, been around agriculture all my life, so I thought I could be kind of good at identifying some tools and whatnot.
In talking about the second day or round of CDEs, that was postponed, so we're looking forward to doing that. Kora, how about you share with us a little bit more about what event you will be doing on the second round of CDEs?
So the second round of CDEs, we're competing in livestock management. So we go in and there is different groups of animals that you like test your knowledge on. So there's 5 different categories. There's poultry, cattle, dairy, horses, and sheep and swine. And you just go and test your knowledge and what you know about them.
In talking about this event, I believe, Ross, you're also competing in this as well. Um, Share a little bit more about, you mentioned all the different species. What are your two roles? Let's start off with you, Ross. What is your role in this team event?
I'm studying the beef category, which is a lot on reproductive parts of the bulls, like EPDs and just like Punnett squares and recessive genes.
And what would you say is one of the challenging aspects of studying that one specific category of the cattle?
A lot of like the heredity. So, because you got to remember which one's recessive, which one's dominant. They don't tell you, so that's kind of the toughest part.
And also looking at this contest, Kora, share a little bit more about which species of animal you're focusing on.
So I am focusing on the horse part of it. So a lot of that is like identifying your different horse breeds and stuff and differing them from one another.
In talking about this event, it's a team event. Each individual, I believe you all have different species. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
In looking at getting this ready for contest, how as a team are you able to decide on which species each person has?
Kind of first come, first serve.
a lot of it's like what you have been around or what you're used to, depending on or the different people.
Mm-hmm. And what you studied previous years. And
Well, that sounds really exciting. And best of luck. That will be coming up here soon. In looking at the other side of the FFA program, in addition to the contest, there's also different projects FFA members can be a part of. One of those is an SAE, a supervised agricultural experience. So let's start off with you, Ross. Share a little bit more about what your SAE all entails.
So my SAE is based on my cow herd. So I started in about like 7th grade. I got my first heifer for work in the summer, and I just used that, and I've just kept on rolling money into my cow herd. So I've calving out 14 this year. So I've took pretty big steps in gaining. So
in talking a little bit more about increasing the herd, like you mentioned, for an SAE, what all goes into showing that growth, or what all do you have to do for specifically the SAE side for the FFA?
it's all about writing down your hours, so a lot of it's journaling, like what you've done. And then there's another side of it, which is your finances. So you'd put all my assets of my cows or like my pickup I put in there. and stuff like that. So it's just a lot about recording what you do.
In talking about the recording side of things and on the business side, Kora, how about you share with us a little bit more on what your SAE is focusing on?
So my SAE is focusing on like the summer work that I do on the ranch, and a lot of it's just like fencing and helping move the cows and that kind of stuff.
So pretty similar to Ross's as well. In wrapping up our conversation here today, I'll have each of you just say what's one thing that you've learned while being a part of the FFA program. You guys have both been participating in it for a while. Reflecting back, what are some of the skills and opportunities that you've gained through the program?
I would say that I've learned a lot of like leadership roles. It's like allowed me to be able to step out of my comfort zone a little bit and having to step into some of those roles and develop some of those skills.
Yep, and mine is probably it's like it's okay to fail. Like you're not going to win at everything, so you might as well expand your horizons and try out different things.
Well, thank you both for taking the time to join me today. Again, that was Ross Martindale, the Sentinel of the Sandhills FFA chapter, as well as Kora Winkelbaur with the Sandhills FFA chapter. Thank you guys so much for taking time to join me today. Again, this was a true blue salute. I'm Karla Nichols reporting.